example, if you were presented with McLaren F1, the imperiousness one gets from a Range Rover.
Some comedians tell jokes. Rowan Atkinson can shift the entire room with one look. And once that dry timing starts landing, even seasoned hosts, actors, and interviewers barely stand a chance.
I did a credit card commercial in New York a few years ago, and it was a story in which I had to play a bungling British secret agent. And there's this beautiful woman gets out of a limo in the middle of New York, and he sees her. And this scene was when I had to look at her as if I'd just fallen in love with her. Right. And the director said, just imagine that you've just seen your wife for the first time. And my wife happened to be on set at the time. And she said, no, that won't work. Tell him to look at her as if she's his new Aston Martin.
Oh, well.
And then it'll work.
Oh, that'll work.
And she was right. It inspired me no end. I looked at her like no woman has ever been looked at.
Really? Can you give us that look? I'm curious.
Yeah.
That is where Rowan gets dangerous. He never pushes too hard, and somehow that makes the payoff hit even harder, which is exactly why the next moment falls apart before it even gets properly started.
That's really good, thank you. This side or this side?
Right, how do you want to sit down?
No, I'll get behind you.
I see, I just sit here and
you
do
don't
nothing.
have to do anything.
Okay.
Coming up on Sunrise this morning, we meet the lovely Mr. Rowan Atkinson. We talk about Mr. Bean's holiday, and all you have to say is, if you miss it, you miss out. Simple as that. You ready?
Right, okay.
I'm good at this.
Good, okay. How interesting.
Morning, Neil Sean here on Sunrise. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Rowan Atkinson, and we talk about Mr. Bean's holiday. Remember though, Rowan?
Oh, sorry?
If you miss it, you miss out.
Do you mind doing that again?
Yeah, okay. Morning, Neil Sean here on Sunrise. This morning we meet Mr. Rowan Atkinson and we talk all about Mr. Bean's holiday. Remember though, Rowan?
What?
If you miss it, you miss out.
Oh, yes.
Don't miss Rowan Atkinson on Sunrise this morning.
Once he senses even a tiny crack, he keeps widening it with absolute precision. And then the chaos gets even better when Rowan steps into a room where the format was supposed to stay polished.
And the winner is John Daniels. No, shit. Unfortunately, John is unable to be with us tonight, and so I'd like to ask his co-star David Forbert to accept the award on his behalf. David.
I was based actually on a visit, on a holiday in Venice that I had in 1985, quite a long time ago. Wouldn't it be fun, because I had already started exploring just doing purely visual comedy. I'd explored it on stage, and I was interested in trying to put visual comedy through the character of Mr. Bean on TV. And so that's where it started. Well, the first ones we did were in 1988, 89, and then it sort of grew from there, and now we've got this...
Weird, it's like he's got its own life.
That mix is what makes him so hard to contain. 1 second it is formal, the next second it is quietly ridiculous. And the story only gets stranger when Rowan explains how one of his biggest ideas began in the simplest way possible.
Do you remember that night? Yes, I certainly remember the night. It was a one-off. It was a one-night review, and I was asked if I wanted to do something, and I couldn't think of anything, and just stood in front of a mirror, to be honest, and I just started pulling faces, I mean, for want of a better term. And I just sort of, was doing this... And then there was this idea of having a card. Have you got anything that I could... I was going Anyway, it was something like that.
That is the part people underestimate. So much of his comedy feels accidental, even when every beat is razor sharp. And that same control gets even funnier when he starts steering someone else's interview completely off course.
I'm sure the first question is this. Funny name, Elton John. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band. I wanted to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Did you ever consider John Elton?
No.
You didn't? No. Okay. Well, let's start with those early albums then, one of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all?
I thought people would be more interested in the music rather than the name.
What?
He can play the straight man and still make the whole exchange feel absurd. No raised voice, no big reaction, just a slow turn of the knife. And from there, Rowan heads into the place where that style becomes almost unfair.
Start with a quote that I read from you. It says, "The problem with talk shows is that you're supposed to amuse. I generally rely on being interesting rather than funny. They just want people with wacky stories about airports, and I haven't really got any."
How true?
It's true.
How true? I haven't.
So how was Kastrup Airport?
No, I have no stories.
No.
I'm always rather confused, as I think I know you are, about whether I'm a comedian or whether I'm an actor.
No.
You know, or whether
No,
I'm an
not
actor.
confused at
You're not
all,
confused
no.
at all? Oh, well, I'll stop talking.
I know you're boring now, and I know you
exactly.
consider...
Exactly. You'll be nodding off.
That dry awkwardness is where Rowan does some of his best damage. He makes silence feel loaded, then slips one line into it, and the whole thing tilts sideways, which leads perfectly into how he can make even a single word sound like its own joke.
You decided that Bob could be a funny word.
Right.
Now, how do you do that?
Well, it just seemed, it was always at the end of the sentence. It was, so how can I help you, Bob?
That is Rowan in his purest form. He finds comedy in timing, rhythm, and the tiniest shift in emphasis. And once you understand that, the next clip feels even better, because now he is doing it inside a world fans know by heart.
Forget the whole thing. I'm going back home with Migsy.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, show me the glen where the kipper roams free and together. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's got too funny.
Sorry.
It's funny to me that he addressed it all to Miggins. Consulting with the wife.
You see, I have to be back in the office on Friday.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm going to look at you. You're looking that way. I understand everything.
I know what it's like. I mean, you've got a difficult job. 45 miles commuting every day.
Crisis, Baldrick, crisis! No marriage, no money, and more bills. For the first time in my life, I've decided to follow a suggestion of yours.
If I may make so bold, a major crisis has arisen in your affairs.
Yes, I know, Blackadder. I've been pondering it all morning.
By this point, you can see the pattern. Rowan never rushes the laugh. He lets the scene tighten around everyone first. And then he walks into a live conversation and somehow makes even self-promotion sound like a problem that needs managing.
Quite a while ago, called Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Oh, yes.
In which Mr. Bean...
You're so casual about that. I did a film called Mr. Bean's
Well, does he look like an even bigger knob if he said, "Oh, well, of course you all know Mr. Bean's Holiday"? You know,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's
I'm
actually very...
trying to reduce my knob quotient.
Look at it.
Look at what? Are we allowed?
I don't know. I've just lost all contact with...
He has that rare ability to sound completely in control while everything around him starts slipping. And then, just when it feels like the mood might settle, Rowan opens the door to two of his most iconic characters at once.
I remember early on in the life of Mr. Bean getting lots of letters from people saying, "Oh, I'd love to have dinner with Mr. Bean. How hilarious that would be." He's a very, very selfish individual. He's a child.
I love your work, I have to say, but the thing that I loved the most, Blackadder.
Oh, right, good.
Elizabethan Blackadder.
Oh, right.
You became a sex symbol because of that.
Oh, pish.
No, it's not all pish. It's true. Look at it. It was just the whole persona, and you really suited the outfit. I have to say.
Yeah,
that costume.
Yeah, sadly, I haven't had occasion to wear.
That is what makes Rowan so watchable. He can move from Mr. Bean to Blackadder to total disbelief without ever breaking the same calm rhythm. And fittingly, it all leads to one more moment where cars, status, and Rowan's delivery collide in the most Rowan Atkinson way possible.
What would Mr. Bean reckon to all of this Formula One malarkey?
Yeah. Well, he would enjoy it very much because he's a car enthusiast, as you know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he had some magnificent cars, didn't he?
Cars, then he'd enjoy it. But anyway, it's fantastic to be here. I'm a guest of George Russell, which is, it wasn't planned for me to be here on a weekend, when he got pole, but here we are.
Rowan Atkinson name dropping. Whatever next?
I know. I'm here as a matter of fact, as a guest of George Russell. So.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's how privileged I am.
Which moment got you the most? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching, like this video, it helps us a lot. And make sure you click this next video for even more moments like these.